Again after the ousting of Californian and now former Speaker of the House by a week, Kevin McCarthy. America's lower chamber can't do any business, let alone create a funding plan that will avoid a government shutdown next month or organize more aid for a war-ravaged Israel that's in crisis right now. Elk Grove Democrat Congressman Ami Bera with me now live. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Definitely. Let's start with Israel. You recently traveled there, and now since last Saturday, you've been watching with the rest of the world as some of the places where you stood have been destroyed. Tell me about why you went to the Middle East in the first place.
You know, I was there in May with the Intelligence Committee as one of the members of the Intelligence Committee, and then there again in early July with the Armed Services Committee, mostly because we understand the volatile situation in the Middle East, to obviously get a sense from the intelligence community, but also the defense perspective. And, you know, I don't think anyone expected this type of attack to take place, but the heinous, crimes against humanity that we're seeing, the barbarism, is just devastating.
It definitely is. Now, as you just referenced, you're a senior member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Before your trip, you received a security briefing. Now, I have to ask, do we just have a massive hole in our security stance or in that of our ally Israel, that what Hamas started last Saturday just wasn't on our radar? And if so, how do we fix that?
You know, certainly this is a massive intelligence failure of the magnitude, different than 9/11, but certainly of that magnitude. You know, Israel historically has one of the best intelligence communities. Again, I think we have to do an after-action report. I think the focus was more on the northern threat from Hezbollah in Lebanon. You know, we visited that northern border as well, and that threat's very real. Right now, though, we've got to support our allies in Israel. You know, this is not going to be very easy to decapitate and disassemble Hamas. An urban war in Gaza is going to be very difficult to prosecute. And, the civilian casualties are going to be horrific. The humanitarian toll will be horrific. And how can we help them prosecute this war in a precise way, going after Hamas, but minimizing the humanitarian toll that potentially will occur?
All huge questions, and we know that one of the best ways to support, even in the days ahead, months ahead, definitely years ahead, is to figure out how intelligence about this was missed. We know that this country is starting to charter flights to get Americans who are stuck in Israel out. Just last night, we here at Fox 40 reported on a Sacramento family who received a hostage video of one of their loved ones from Hamas. That group making unconfirmed claims that 13 hostages they brought to Gaza, they say, have been killed by Israeli attacks. Are Californians reaching out to your office for help for their families? And if so, what have you been able to do so far?
They are, and folks in Sacramento County certainly should reach out to our office if they have friends or relatives that are U.S. citizens that need help getting out. Those flights have started to take place both overseas as well as flights to Europe and proximal countries. We have gotten some Sacramento County residents out into Europe, and hopefully they're on their way back home shortly. Again, feel free to reach out to our office at fera.house.gov at our website, and we can try to direct you to the resources at the State Department. But again, understandably, a lot of Americans, dual citizens are there in Israel, and some are stepping up to serve and defend Israel. Others who may have been there as tourists, certainly we want to get them out of harm's way.
Definitely. Israel, one of America's biggest allies, needs a lot of aid right now, something your chamber, the U.S. House, can't provide because there is no elected Speaker of the House. What was your reaction to Speaker nominee Steve Scalise pulling his candidacy because of the fighting within his own party last night and the lack of ability to secure enough votes to bring to the House floor?
I think if Steve Scalise can't unify the Republican conference, I'm not sure that there is a unity candidate on the Republican side. So the only path forward really is a bipartisan path forward. Again, I was a founder of the Problem Solvers Caucus. I stand ready to receive those calls for help. That path forward might be Patrick McHenry, who you just saw on camera, who's acting Speaker pro tem. He's very conservative, but a lot of us respect him. Maybe he can at least temporarily get the House back in business, and that might be the bipartisan path forward that's needed.
And we're almost out of time, but I have to ask, before Steve Scalise emerged as the Speaker nominee, we were hearing some people were going to put in Kevin McCarthy's name again. He said, yes, maybe, then said no. People are talking about Kevin McCarthy from California again, the Speaker that was ousted by this action by Matt Gaetz. Do you see McCarthy coming back?
You never know. I mean, I never saw a motion to vacate succeeding. I always thought, Speaker McCarthy, why would you allow that to come to the floor if you didn't have the votes? So never say never. That said, we have to be a functioning House of Representatives by next week, because the president is going to say, okay, here's what Israel needs to help defend itself, and we're going to have to act.
There's nothing like a deadline, nothing like a deadline. Thank you so much for joining us this morning with your insight. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Be well and be safe.